Morning after the big event. Look at all that. I'm happy with that. I don't know how it's meant to look. I'm not a panel beater's arsehole, but I'm pretty happy with that. I've got to grind a couple here off still. These are a bit tricky to grind into, but they'll be right. But that's pretty good, I think. Interesting to see what Mel says when he gets here. That's considering I've never ever done anything like this before. I think it's going okay. I don't know whether I should be welding these seams up here or not. I'll have to, I think that's what that seam seal stuff's for. This one here, it took a fair bit of strain, but that's sort of as close as I can get that. I hope that's okay for Mel. I guess more seam sealer will sort me out there. Anyway, I'll grind that couple over there, and then we'll start ripping into this roof. I've actually got to do the, I'll do the front gutter first. I'll cut all that off, and then I'll attack the side gutters. Actually look like they need to come off first by the looks of it. We'll have a gander, hey? We'd have to drill through all these spot welds, which we can do that. We have the technology. So we'll drill these out first. I'm going to do everything wrong. I reckon I'll just drill straight through there, that way I can weld it from both sides. And hopefully get that out. So this one here has to come off, the top one, which is the one Princess got the other day. Then the one in front of that has to come off. We might just pull the top one off to start with. Do that on both sides. A few little areas to patch. I don't know how that's going to... Don't look, Paul. We can patch that as we go. It'll be right. We'll baffle it with bullshit. Don't know. We'll bullshit our way through it. So, after a lot of fun arkling around, we've got it all apart-ish. Got some patching to do up here. That was a bit rusted out there. And, I think that was only like about 1.5 inches maybe back here. This is right back here. This is the front of the cab on this side, and I think over on that side is at the back of the cab. Well, this has all been an accident. This has all been stoved in up here at some stage before I've owned it. Anyway, we'll keep on going. Okay, here's the new gutter. I should have really taken a video before I put it all on. It's clamped on. I coal gallered underneath there. We built this bit of door jamb under here at the front. Panel beater. This took a fair bit of unstitching up here. Anyway, it's all clamped in position. It is a lot of farkling around. So we'll do that. Well, tack that in. This is the, they call this the gutter up the top, above the door. Anyway, and that's there, that there, that up there, and that corner there, on that side of that vice grippy thing, is where I've had to make a new bit. We'll weld him back in and we'll be done. The finished product. That's the gutter up the side. Hey, how good's that? That's a lot of fun arkling around. No wonder panel beaters charge you so much. And a few patches up here and things underneath. It's all plug welded underneath and ground back, and it's the same inside. This has only taken me about 7-8 hours to do one gutter over the doorway. Only got one gutter to do over the other door, mate. One over the windscreen. It's going to be a long night. Okay, it's 10 at night. We'll make a start on this side. Do an hour or two, getting that gutter off. Oh, look at that shiny head. And so here we go. We're always running out of time here. I don't think I did any video of it up close like this before I put the outside one back on. So there's half a dozen pop rivets there, or spot welds, sorry. There's a lot along here. I sliced up each side here, cut that main bit out, and then cut the gutter off. Whatever, I don't know what you call this here. The return for the rubber, maybe? Excuse me. Then I could see all these spot welds along here, so I drilled those out because I've got to reuse those again. These ones here I ground off because I'll plug weld from this side of it. Then you won't be able to see it in the cab or anything. In under here, this bit of stuff has a spot weld under in there. You've got to get off. That's at the rear corner of the cab, or at least on this cab. And apart from that, I think it's ready to roll. Here it is, all clamped up, ready to bolt back on. So hopefully you can make a bit of something out of all this. This one up here I'm going to panel beat around and weld back on, but I've got to weld all this other stuff on first. So we'll do that. And it does piece, the other one pieced together okay anyway. Well, it's all welded this way, that way, on top. Needs a bit of grinding back, of course. Yeah, it's all done. That bit there's all bent back around. That's all flattened down this end where it slides in. Now this last one took, what did I say, 10 to 9, it's now 11:15. So it took, however, it was about 2.5 hours. The other side took, well, 7.5 hours. I had to work out how to pull the thing apart. That's, I think, is half the battle. So, Steve P from the Big Mack Truck Forum down at Vegas, he told me to give you a call. Should have listened. Anyway, no time for telephone calls. I only had about an extra 5 hours. Nah, I had to repair all the gutter on that other one, so it didn't take me 5 hours though. I had to repair the damage. I did get it undone as well. But there you go. Hopefully this might come in handy for someone doing this to a Mack one day, an R model. Maybe not, probably not. In the morning, got to grind all those back, and then got to grind the bits of steel to the left up here where all the spot welds are. Spot welds, spot rivets, bit spot. Anyway, on the top up there, there's 3 strips across the top. Then we can start clamping everything on there and hopefully have that all welded up down each A pillar and everything by, I don't know, if I say by smoko it'll end up being lunch. If I say by lunch it'll be 5 o'clock tomorrow night. Then I just got to do the gutter on the back. There's a couple of small rust repairs look like they need doing in there too as we go along. And then the lid can go back on. It's all very exciting.